father was having such a hard time with me that he actually called the FBI agents and was calling off the deal. I think that my father probably never realized that I was going to be that way. I don't even think I realized that I was going to be that way. I don't even know why. You know, put yourself in it. Like, if I try to pull my daughter, who's 22 years old, I brought her first, you know, she didn't want to come back to New York when I moved her here from Arizona. She has such a life here. She's 22. I said to her a couple of months ago, Kari, come on, let's go back to Arizona. Let's start a life. Let's open a spa. She looked at me like I had 10 heads. She's like, I'm not going nowhere.
Wow.
And I'm like, wow, she's in, you know, so like your life at that time is what's your life. And me, I was 19. Like, my father's life, like it was my life now. Like, I'm not going. I don't care. I was a rebellious kid at 19, you know, like, and sorry, I was rebelling against the bigger picture. And so no, I don't think it was selfish at all. I just think that he didn't, you know, and that's where I think, to answer your question, the weaknesses came in from all of us. I don't think my father ever imagined that, you know, I'd be dating bank robbers, running a weed service in Manhattan, and being like, you know, there's a lot of things that were happening at the time, like that I can't, you know, that we're not going to get into so deep, but you know, I think he felt like he lost control of us, and this was his way, the whole ecstasy. And I guess if you say this to a regular person, who was brought up their whole lives and had a 9-to-5 and didn't come from the streets, was never involved in a murder. My father, when it comes to that world, he was that world. You know, he understands murder. He understands setup. He understands it. So in his mind, he's thinking, my son's going to go to New York. These people are going to lure him in and they're going to kill him. Yeah. So let me jump in with him and try to lure him and pull him this way. It's hard for an average person to think like that, because you don't understand that. You know what I mean? Me personally, if my daughter came to me, I'd probably do the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely would do. And is that going to work out? No. I mean, look, we dealt with the repercussions. Yeah. You know, someone asked me, what were you guys thinking? And I said, I think that was the problem. I don't think we were thinking at the time. I think we were all acting off emotions. So there was I think if we all really would have thought and really would have sat down, and my father would have, like, I think it was just, you know, our emotions, we were acting out, his emotions were high, and we all acted off emotions, and the rest is history. We caught a case, and, you know, we dealt with it, and we're here now. So
post that event, you had a med spa out in Arizona, successful. You wrote a New York bestseller, Mob Daughter. And then now, you know, now moved, you know, to New York. And how's life now?
Life is good. I just produced a show for MTV, Families of the Mafia. We did 2 seasons. It was great. We're still in the air. I mean, we are thinking of doing another season. We are also talking about going in other avenues, whether it's scripted or movie. I don't know. We have like a lot of ideas. The reality part of it, for me, I'm exhausted. Like, I told my story 100 times, a million times. You know, my daughter, she's a beautiful girl. She's very successful. She's a hustler. She's working hard, and, you know, to always have that affiliation, and, you know, you're always going to have it, but then to turn on the TV and you're talking about it all the time, it starts to become exhausting. Yeah. But I do it for a reason, because I do believe that a lot of people that go through different experiences can relate on certain levels. Yeah. And maybe, you know, it could help. Like, for me, prison reform is a huge thing, and I've been working on a bunch of that. But I'm also still working on producing. My mother has a production company that I've been working, you know, helping her with. And nice. She just did a project. My father will be acting for the first time in it, which is, honestly, I'm not just saying that. I was like, kind of actually I'm like, are you an actor? Like, he was really good. I'm like, but he does play like kind of like a killer in it.